Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Thursday, August the 27th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, I only have a couple of trades to go over today. I actually had some problems, and I don't know if it's with Trade Ideas itself or my computer, but it was very, very sluggish for me. And what I mean by that is that, I was hovering over symbols to click in Trade Ideas and nothing was happening. I was getting some, I could tell that there wasn't, that the connection just wasn't quite there. And so it was very difficult to move around. I was having trouble moving around my windows on my monitor. So this is the first time this has ever happened. So I'm hoping that maybe it's the new beta that I'm using. Maybe there are a couple little things in there that are causing some problems. But anyway, so a little bit frustrating. Didn't do as much as I probably should have. But at any rate, we'll go over the two trades that I did post in the room. Ford. Now, Ford was an interesting one. Ford showed up. You see what I'm saying? You see what's happening here? Like as I'm moving around, the crosshairs is it's just sluggish, and that's what was happening. And I was attributing this before to the fact that maybe while I was doing the video, these sort of things were happening. But this is what was happening to me all day long, not just in the charts, but in other aspects of TI. But anyway, let me make sure I've got the pre-market. Yes, okay, I've got the pre-market right here, and here is, come on, here is the opening. Here's the opening candle right there, the opening volume right there. So here is the pre-market, and so this is why we were interested in this one. This has been on a bit of a tear. I had a bit of a tear, I think, well, here you can see it closed at 103 and it got as high as 190. So something is up with this one. I don't really know. I haven't read the news at all, but did notice that it was up in the pre-market and was over $2. Now I've drawn this line right here. That defines the top of the pre-market. So what you don't see here is this candle, didn't immediately zoom up. This collapsed. As you can see, the sellers took it all the way down to 210. And then as it started moving up, when it made it through the high of the pre-market, and I'm still hoping, well, I know it'll happen. I just, the guys are really taxed right now. The tech guys, we're trying to get the AI channel going. We're trying to get this grids working so we can do RBI, GBI, references to previous candles. There is a lot going on, and I've asked them to so that we can have a data point that will allow us to tell us when a stock goes through its pre-market high or pre-market low. And because I'm well, not convinced. I know there are some interesting setups that you can get into if you can be alerted when a stock goes through its pre-market high. So I just happen to have this one. I put this one on my broker alert, so I knew exactly when it happened, and I was able to take the trade right here at on this line right here at 246. I exited some at 268, got as high as 292, obviously hoping that it would get up to through 3. Didn't happen, and I don't have it marked here, but I exited the rest right here around 256. So not a bad trade. It was an early trade. Had a lot of promise though the minute it broke through that pre-market, through the pre-market high. The next trade was, and this one I actually traded several times. This was Walgreens WBA. And again, we're looking for this pattern right here. Now this, not quite the ideal pattern, but in fact, when we finally get this grid working, I'm going to have some decisions to make because I probably will want two strategy alerts. So again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, what we're looking for is here's the green bar, here is the red bar, and then the green bar continuation. Now, in theory, this red bar should be totally engulfed by this green bar in front of it. You can see here, though, the tail is below. Now, this doesn't bother me so much because, in fact, I would say that the longer the tail, the better. Because what's happening then is, in my opinion, is that the sellers tried to knock it down, the buyer stepped in and closed it right here. So there's an argument to be made that this strategy really should incorporate, as long as the body the body of this candle is engulfed by this candle, then it's legitimate. And I would even say that, if I could find ones where the tail is significantly lower than this, I would even like that better because again, I'm looking at it that the sellers took over and then, sorry, the buyers took over, sellers tried to ram it down, sellers took over, and now of course the buyers have taken over here again. So I actually tried to trade this. I don't have it marked in here. I took the trade right around this level. It was rated 87.06. This candle got me out though at 87. So I took a 6 cent loss on it, but continued to watch it and then took the trade again at 87.19. This line here was 87.19. I took some out here at 87.49, and I'm sorry, right here. I'm sorry, right here at 87.40, 87, yeah, 87.79. I took some out, and then on the way down, I took some out at 87.54. So, you know, this actually, I tried to trade it again. In fact, I did trade it again, and I took the trade at 87.10, made 10 cents as it went up to 87.20, lost 10 cents as it went down through 87. So this was sort of a wash. But, not a bad one to keep watching. And in fact, you can see right here, this is why we looked at it again, is that here is that red bar ignored, and that's why we took the trade. Again, maybe a little bit of a stretch because the top of this red candle is above, I believe, the top of, yeah, above the top of this green candle. But again, if we look at just the body, as long as the body is engulfed, I'm sorry. It's a little frustrating with just the sluggishness. If the body is engulfed by this candle, then which is just slightly is, then I'm not adverse to taking the trade. The other thing that attracted me to it was that remember these are 15-minute candles, so look how narrow it is. So you can put a very tight stop on something like this, and take it. Now I waited. I wanted to wait above the whole number. I mean, I hate taking a trade just below the whole number, so I did wait to get over the whole number. Again, it didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but this one worked out pretty well. All right, enough of my frustration. Again, now the other one I just wanted to bring up, wanted to see what's happening with Monsanto right now, and this can't be right. Yes, it is right. Wow, I've missed it. I was, in fact, well, it looks. You'll see what I'm looking for on a. I am clicking. There we go on a 5-minute candle. Yeah. This was a big drop, and it coincided. I don't know what the SPY is doing right now. Let me just bring in a SPY chart and see what's happening with the SPY chart because this coincided. Yeah, the SPY is on its way down also. This move here coincided with this. And then we had a little bit of an uptick in the SPY, and this was the pull-up on Monsanto, but I really wanted to pay attention to this. Fortunately, as I was doing this video, this action happened because I really wanted to take the trade probably around here and get short on it. It would have been a beautiful short right now. And you can see the SPY is dropping also. I don't know what the news is. I mean, we're up most of the day. Now we're only up 120. With the way this market has been going this week, wouldn't surprise me that we'll finish in the negative today. Still have a little over an hour to go, but so anyway, I missed this one. Unfortunately, this is what kind of what you look for though. Here's the big downtrend. You see this pull up. Again, I love this action. Buyers really tried to take it up. Here's the tail. Seller said nope, took it down and then just resumed. Now this is not the ignored, but I mean this is sort of a pattern that you can probably follow all over the place on many different stocks. You see tails like this, and then you see that. I'm so sorry. Come on, get out of the way. All right. Okay. So you see tails like this, and then you see this action, and then when the next candle is red, it probably can signify that there's going to be some follow through on the downside in this particular case, and that's exactly what's happened. Now here, you see, now we've got a tail forming here. Sellers have tried to take it down. Now it's only 7 cents above that, so I mean that really isn't a big tell. But I mean, if this moves up to say 97.50 with a long tail here, then I'd be looking maybe for a reversal again to the upside, only for scalping really. I mean you can't really expect that a super trend, if this happened, and it doesn't look like it's going to, but if this all of a sudden turned into a long tail, if the buyers took over and were able to close this candle at around 97.50, you might get a bit of a pop, but maybe up to this level. But anyway, I'm going to get back to the room because I want to see there may be still an opportunity to trade Monsanto. Okay, hopefully the sluggishness is not with me tomorrow on with trade ideas. I may have to go to a previous version just to see if that was the problem. All right, here we go. Here is the address to get into the room. You can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.